We need to listen to spirit. We do something specific, like we just did the cord cutting on Wednesday night, right? And we knew we're cutting away from negative, toxic people and connections and anything that's not serving us. And if you were there for the whole thing, at one point, I was like, now sometimes when you do a cord cutting, sometimes things that you just cut cords from are going to want to reattach to you. I had that happen within 3 days. We were all talking about twin flames that night and how twin flame this and twin flame that and cutting the cords and bopping the boop. Person that I had twin flame labeled contacted me Saturday night, 72 hours after the freaking cord cutting. That's a red flag. And I know that because I just informed people that. So what kind of person am I to ignore that? Not only that, it's Mercury retrograde. And any astrologer out there is going to be like, yo, dude, Mercury retrograde, not a good time to connect with your ex. It's not a good time to like, and I've learned over the years, and that's another reason why I feel like it's an expansive thing. You're going to get better. You're going to get more information. You're going to have more awareness over time through a collection of connecting with spirit, doing the things that we know are connecting us to spirit and setting intentions, and then taking our steps forward and behaving in a way that aligns with that. So if we cut cords 3 days before someone shows up in our life or comes back into our life, and we've just warned people like that's not a good sign, we need to have that in our awareness when we're navigating stuff. Now, Mercury retrograde, we know that that's not a good time to be reconnecting. Now, over the past few years, I've tried to brush that aside. I've been like, wow, we were born during Mercury retrograde, so papa da boop. But in my gut, in my soul, I knew that what I was hearing about Mercury retrograde and twin flames and people coming back from the past is usually not a good indication, okay? But I've always tried it because he always comes back around during that time, which is not a good indication. Even though I'm connected to the spirit and I know these things, I still sabotage myself by being like, okay, so Mercury retrograde shows up, not a good time for people, here he is. I just did a cord cut, not a good time, here he is. And it's fucking the Lion's Gate, where I know the next 365 days are going to be dependent upon how I behave right now and what I do and what type of energy I'm going into this gate with. If I choose to be like, oh, well, put that under the rug and put that under the rug and engage with this person further, I'm creating another 365 days for myself because that's how I look at it as the Lion's Gate, and that's the reality I'm creating. So whatever reality you're creating surrounding this is important for you to be aware of and start fine-tuning and paying attention, because spirit is going to show you what you specifically need to know on your path of what's good for you and what's not good for you, what you should be doing and what you shouldn't be doing. And the universe and your guides are going to use all of what's around us to show us that. Whether it's the 333s or the day of the week or the fact that it's Mercury retrograde 3 days after you do this and you're going into a whole portal here where it's going to amplify whatever you're carrying in there. This is a test, Bridget. Are you going to let that person reconnect with you and do a whole other year of this? Or are you going to pay attention to the big red flags and say no? And it's 11:11 as we go into the second part of this. So basically, I need to listen to spirit. And I'm also in a position where I feel like I'm kind of obligated to let other people know, like they come to me for guidance. I do readings all the time. I did a reading for someone tonight that literally ended their questions with help me, because they know just as much as I know that like spirit is communicating to us. We know in our soul like what we should be doing and what we shouldn't be doing, what is good for us and what isn't good for us. 11:11. You've got to pay attention to the signs. And if you don't have very clear signs in your reality, then you got to start creating them, because you are the creator of your reality. It is up to you. So as the creator of my reality, with that knowing and that wisdom and that information, I would be doing a disservice to myself to just dismiss all of what I know about Mercury retrograde not being a great time, 72 hours after doing a cord cutting from karmic, toxic, not good stuff, not a good sign, to be like, okay. But I'll tell you, A few years ago, I probably would have. I know I would have because I've done it. He's come back Mercury retrograde, and I'm like, well, we were both born in Mercury retrograde, so whatever. It doesn't change the fact, because he's doing the same thing that he's always done before, which is another indication. Like, if you see things repeating in your life, those are signs that it's time to do something different or expect the same outcome, right? And I know a lot of the people who follow me are dealing with these types of things, whether it's financial, love, health, whatever. Whatever you're doing religiously and continuously is insanity. It's the definition of insanity to be like, let's keep on doing that and expect a different outcome, right? So every time this person has come into my life, it's usually not followed with good outcomes. And they have a track record of showing up with some red flags, like continuously coming back with the same type of approach, but never having a different outcome is another red flag. Like, I need a healing. I just gave him a healing not too long ago, and it had the same outcome as times before. Last time was the first time that I ever even charged that person for my services. And could I use the money? Yes. But do I feel like it's worth allowing them to reconnect with me energetically and to dismiss all those red flags and engage back into this cycle that I know is not healthy for me or serving me or going to lead me anywhere good? No, it's not worth it. So I'm not going to. My room, my dad went back down in the basement, so that room is all broken apart. The other room is not set up yet, and honestly, I wasn't even really thinking about setting it back up in a way to do healing sessions, because I'm going to be focused on Patreon, which is launching tomorrow. Like, I've got other things going on in my life right now, and he wants to come in and throw me all off, and I don't think that's his intention, is to come in and throw me all off, but that's what happens. So me being responsible for me and me solely, and me having spirit giving me all these, and just even the universe, because our connection to spirit, our connection to source, our connection to our intuition, and to all of these things is our universe. It is all a reflection of us and the decisions that we're making day to day and the choices that we follow through with. So told him the room's not set up. He offered me I could go there. I was like, my dad's been taking the car a lot, which is the truth as well. It's got a lot of shit in it. I don't really want to do it. The last thing I said was I will try to get the room set up. But I've reflected over the last couple of days, paid attention to all those fuckers. Because in the moment, when he first reaches out to me, that's the okay part. That's the okay part where you don't have to initially know your answer. You are creating your reality in every moment. So a few years ago, I probably would have rushed down there to clean off the table, set up that other room, make it very nice so that I could give this person a 1-hour healing session, right? Or take everything out of the Jeep, like all my dad's fucking supplies and tools, put my thing in there, drive it over, give him a healing session, and then come back and have to redo all of what I had just done to go over there. No, especially as a feminine, and I know a lot of feminines follow me, that is not okay. Like, never once is it ever been like, can I take you out to dinner? Can I do something for you? Like, how are you? You know what I mean? None of that normal type of behavior. It's always like, I gotta put you to work. I gotta keep this weird like air of like, you're just working for me, and without pay until just the last time. So that's even worse. And it's not his fault. I should have charged him, but I didn't, because I hoped that by giving him the Munich rights and the new paradigm and all of those things, it would help him. I do believe it helped him, but I do believe it harmed me. It was at my own detriment. So knowing those things, again, I get to make a decision based off of what I've already created in the past, what I've been a co-creator within, how I've seen how they create, how their fucking things go, and how mine go. Spirit is giving me clear indications that this isn't something I should fuck around with. This isn't something I should entertain. This isn't something that is up to my level of what I desire to be creating in my reality. I don't want that bullshit. I don't want to just be your sometimes healing session person that you've paid once, because it's not even like you're a regular client. You know what I mean? Like, I can't even try to dismiss it onto that, because those are the things that I naturally tend to do, because I'm an empath and I care about the person and I feel bad for the person and I still love that person. But that's harming me. I need to love me and be like, no, it's not like he's doing so much for me. He's not. He's just taking and hurting me over and over. So is it easy? No. And has it been easy to even make this video? No. I've tried to record this several times, and each time have been like, I'm not going to say that, or I'm not going to say this. But I need to be authentic, and I need to let people know these things, because I feel like so many people on this side of stuff who are trying to teach people and guide people put things around stuff, and they don't show them the authentic, real truth. They don't give them that raw realness of like, we don't always all know exactly what we're doing. And we sometimes make mistakes, and we sometimes repeat those mistakes. And then sometimes we're given so many freaking signs and we still deny them and push them aside. Maybe that's another reason why it took me so long to finally record one to post, because part of me wasn't even sure yet if I was going to say no fully, or was I still going to set that room up for him. No, I'm not going to set the room up for him. I'm not taking that through the Lion's Gate. That's not the reality I want. If you're not showing up to me in a reciprocal way, if you're not showing up to me different than you've been, if you're not showing up to me without all these red flags, I don't deserve that. I deserve more, and you deserve more, and Spirit will guide you to more. But you have to pay attention to these types of indications, these things that are going on around you all the time. And the Lion's Gate is a very powerful, potent time right now where we can reshape and change our whole life over the next course of the year by going into this with value on ourselves and boundaries around us. I am going to do another cord cutting because I feel like that one was successful, right? But I also feel like outside energy can influence it. And just the fact of them trying to reach out to me and me considering giving them a healing session, knowing all the red flags and stuff, those are more cords that are being created, okay? I don't have to necessarily do like a whole big ritual or all of that, but we need to continuously being like, cut the fucking cords. No. Stop allowing this to drain me. Stop allowing this to fuck with me. Stop allowing this to even be on the like maybe frequency. I don't want that frequency. That is not the frequency I want, so why entertain it, okay? And again, think of this in your life as you're going through your world. And I hear so much rain right now. Like, we're cleansing, we're purging, we're releasing. We are given a new opportunity at this time to create a much better outcome. I want a divine masculine that is going to show up and treat me as a divine feminine, not as a work thing, not as a freebie thing, not as how it used to be, which is even worse thing, right? So we have gotten better, but we need to get even better. And that may not be able to come out of that person. So I'm going to stop entertaining even going anywhere near that person until I see, and anybody, until I see the level that I know that I want and I deserve and I'm open to receiving at this time. I'm not entertaining anybody in any way unless they're showing me that value and that respect. And Spirit is also showing me that this is a green flag.